our first speaker, which may or may not have anything to do with the theme, but he wanted to speak, and I talked to him, and he convinced me. He was persuasive enough. So, Tom, are you here somewhere? I'm looking out there to make sure. Yes, Tom Johnson will be coming in. He's from, if I'm not mistaken, is it Rancho? Yeah, come on up, and then I won't give much introduction to many people, but we'll give him a little bit because he was so persuasive, convinced me to speak, even though I wasn't convinced he was speaking on school stories. So what club are you from?
5247 Rancho Cucamonga.
Rancho Cucamonga. Okay. Representing 5247 Rancho Cucamonga, Tom Johnson with his topic, Are You Open-Minded? Which automatically made me give him an invitation to the debate club because he had to be open-minded to go in there and debate on all these weird topics.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Professor Adam Grant at the Wharton School in Pennsylvania says that one goal of learning is to revise old views in light of new facts. Education should not shield your current views from new facts. Professor Grant said, a mark of an open mind is to be more committed to your curiosity than to your convictions. Being open-minded means being capable of changing your views, and that's a part of critical thinking. As citizens of a self-governing republic, it's in our best interest to be open-minded. Our best scientists are always exploring new ideas and guided by new discoveries. New facts are primary drivers of scientific advancement. But even among scientists, there is sometimes resistance to new ideas. When Einstein proposed the theory of relativity, some of his peers resisted. Einstein challenged long-standing ideas about space and time that have been taught for generations. Later, in the maelstrom of new ideas that shook physics a century ago, Einstein himself sometimes had trouble accepting new ideas. He resisted the idea of quantum mechanics, in which random events play a critical role. Einstein famously said, God does not play dice with the universe. Keeping an open mind, even for scientists, is hard. In the general public, old ideas, even ridiculous ones, persist. Some of these ideas, regrettably, come from religion, despite their flaws. I can think of no better example than the story of Noah and the ark. You may be offended by what I'm about to say, but I challenge you to put aside your emotions and consider some simple facts. I assume you know the gist of Noah's story. You've probably seen colorful pictures of animals going 2 by 2, entering an immense wooden boat. Allegedly, when Noah's Ark came to rest somewhere in Turkey, it released the only survivors of a global flood. This story may have seemed plausible to our ancient ancestors, given their limited view of geography. Perhaps you've seen maps of the world that were drawn at the zenith of the Roman Empire. At the left, you had the Mediterranean. Around it, you had the shores of the lands that the Romans knew of. The only continents they were aware of, Europe, Asia, and Africa, are all connected. This made it plausible that animals leaving Noah's Ark could have walked to where we find their kind today. Elephants could have walked to Africa. Siberian tigers could have walked to northern Asia, and so on for all species. But beginning in the 15th century, knowledge of geography increased. Old World people became aware of the Americas. Later, they became aware of Australia. New facts populating these new worlds or new animals. North America has possums, raccoons. Australia has kangaroos. More new facts. An open-minded person might reasonably ask, how could a kangaroo get from Turkey to Australia, crossing miles of open ocean? A Caribbean island near Panama is home to a species of three-toed sloth. The sloth is a lethargic herbivore. It spends its days lounging in trees, eating leaves. A sloth makes Homer Simpson look ambitious. Is it plausible that a sloth would have the energy to swim to Panama from the old world? No. Common sense tells us that Noah's story is a myth. Some will say that critical thinking does not apply to Noah's story. They might say it is a matter of faith. You might have one set of ideas that are subject to critical analysis, and another set that are beyond question. But as long as it is socially acceptable to compartmentalize beliefs, rational ones and ones we don't analyze, we will have trouble maintaining our democracy with a diverse population with different ideas. Our government was designed by rational people. It works best in the hands of open-minded people. But if beliefs that are shielded from critical thought continue to influence our politics, there will be a tension between faith and rational thought. Our best chance to keep our self-governing republic is to encourage open-mindedness in all areas of inquiry and policy. Thank you.